In today's episode, me and two strangers play POG Simulator, also known as Arma Reforger. See, the thing I love about this game is you don't actually have to do all the fighting. You can just be like a truck driver or something. Because these matches can last for hours. There's like 60 dudes on each team. And in this particular match, there's all human players, so there's no AI. Some matches they have AI players. But here it's just human on human, which is kind of cool. So you have the American team who's also out there. They're doing the same thing. They're out capturing little bases, little towns, and outposts. And then you got to take trucks and you got to go to these little supply points. And you got to bring supplies to your outpost. And with those supplies, you can build buildings and truck depots and armories and all of the weapons and attachments and suppressors and scopes and all that stuff, backpacks, all that stuff. It costs supplies. Supplies in this game are pretty universal. They don't really mean anything specifically, so if you find supplies, then they're just supplies. Supplies are just supplies. I just have everything that you need. So you can take these trucks. These trucks now hold 1,500 supplies. Earlier in the game, they used to hold like 600 or 650 or something like that, which just wasn't enough to do much. But now you can feel really proud as a truck driver, pulling up here with 1,500 supplies. You can build most things with one truckload. You'll see there's an armory off to the left, there's living quarters right here. As we come up, there's a small vehicle depot and a heavy vehicle depot and a medical area over there. That all takes supplies, and like one truckload should pay for most of it, and then you just need somebody to like put it down and build it and use shovels and stuff. And it is a little bit tedious, but it's actually kind of relaxing. It's one of my favorite things in this game is just running supplies. And yeah, you just kind of hold the buttons down, you just unload them, load them. There's not a whole lot that goes into it, but that's what makes it kind of fun. It's kind of simple. But here I can see that my fuel gauge is on, so they also built a little fuel station here. So you got to build those individually. Those take supplies as well, of course. But yeah, you just pull your truck up into the vicinity of a fuel station. And I don't really know what the difference is between the two things, so we'll just fill them both up. You don't seem to run out of gas super fast in this game. Like, I think the trucks come with not fully topped off, so you usually have to fill them up at some point. But I feel like in this match I fill it up once and then I just kind of never again. Yeah, I'm kind of explaining this for people who don't really know how this works. If you kind of want to just get into the game and want to have something to do, like this is a good way to kind of get into it without feeling like you have to actually attack bases and stuff. And this gives you XP, so you get experience points for loading and unloading the trucks, or at least unloading it if you unload it at your base. In here you can see the boxes sometimes don't have enough supplies in them to support an entire truck. So you either have to wait for them to respawn, which only takes a few seconds, it just kind of takes a minute. Or, like what I'm doing here, is I just pull up to the next box and just load them from there, top it off. Just try to make sure you have a full truckload before heading back. And always feel free to put a little pressure on the enemy when you can. You know, it might not seem like that's doing a whole lot, but still, just being able to put any amount of pressure on them, just let them know, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is not, you're not welcome here, you know, just start shooting at them. And I have taken down helicopters just like that, with AKs, spraying them just like that. Because, like, this is, like, an actual simulator game. Like, it doesn't have the coding in there that's like, oh, well, that's just an AK, and this is a helicopter, therefore it's not armored enough or whatever, you know, or can't penetrate whatever. Like, your bullet might actually go through the window and hit the pilot, and then they go down, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I missed him in all those shots, and he came through and destroyed our two helicopters, so that's not so good. But good news is I got a truckload of supplies, and I think this is about enough supplies that we can just buy another helicopter. So whoever was trying to do the helicopters, they can just build another one now. And I don't really care what they want to use the supplies for. I kind of enjoy just bringing them supplies, and then if the other players want to build helicopters or build defenses or whatever they want to do, like somebody has to run supplies for the rest of your teammates to have fun. So I kind of enjoy that sometimes, you know, depending on the mood that I'm in. Like, it's almost fulfilling, just being a support element, you know? And you just know everyone else is having fun. And one of the cool things about being a supply guy is since you're bringing all of the supplies, it's like, it's kind of like an unspoken kind of thing. Like, nobody can really tell you what to do with them, in a sense, where it's like, if I want to come over to the armory here and grab a backpack and grab a PKM and load it up with whatever the hell I want, like, I feel like I can do that because I've been running these damn supplies, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're actually running them, you can kind of just like do stuff, and if anyone wants to bitch, you can just be like, well, go get them yourself then, you know, sir, or whatever, you know. I think at this point in the match, I'm a lieutenant at this point, and which I just got that by like mostly, like I captured a few bases at the beginning of the game, uncontested. There's nobody there. You literally just go up, nothing happens, and then you capture it. But otherwise, you get XP for that. But then I get XP for running supplies, and then standing around the base. Anytime I spend time within the borders of our base, you slowly get XP for that too. So you do get XP for standing around. It's another one of my favorite ways. But if you do some standing around and then you kind of do some box lifting, you can rank up pretty quickly. So now that I'm a lieutenant, like, I think I can get helicopters and stuff, or spawn helicopters for other people, or whatever we got to do. And since I'm rolling around in a truck all the time, I decided to take one of these machine guns with me, because they're pretty good at taking down helicopters, or at least helping at it. And I got a scope on it too, but just taking it off, because sometimes it's easier just to pull up and start spraying with iron sights. But it doesn't take long to put the scope on, you know, if you find yourself in a situation where that needs to happen, if you need a scope. It gets really fun running supplies when there's a lot of action going on and you still just stay focused on the supplies. Like, it feels cool to be unloading supplies and you like take a knee and you hear bullets impacting on the truck because people are trying to stop you from unloading them, but you just don't give a fuck because you're brave and shit, you know? So you just keep unloading them. Yeah, it gets pretty intense. And I can hear them on the mics. You can't hear them in this video. I gotta get those settings all figured out, but the one guy that's been helping running supplies, I can hear him talking about how he's building up sandbags. So that's pretty fun. You can go into one of these tents, the command tent, and you can build shit. So you can put down sandbags all over the place. Then it's fun just to get involved. Just come help fill a little bit. You know, make sure people see your name floating around the busy work, you know, earn some respect. You also get XP for building things. So even if you're not running supplies, but if you see somebody putting down these little posts, these little pre-made sectional things, then just run up or you gotta take your little tool out, your E-tool, shovel, and you'll see, once you take the E-tool out, then the whiteness will come up, and you'll see where you can build stuff if somebody's putting something down to build. And then you just kind of get to work, get a little XP. I'm doing my part. But I really don't want to spend my time doing that. Want to help at least a little bit. Yeah, we'll just keep running supplies, because there's always going to be a need for supplies. People like to set themselves up with the loadouts full of all kinds of stuff. Like I don't know how much my guy's loadout costs. Like maybe about 200 supplies or something to have like the machine gun and some ammo and the suppressor on the AK and stuff like that. So it's like it could cost like 200 supplies every time somebody spawns in on this base. You know, and if they've got all that gear and they're out attacking the next base or something, like maybe they need it, but like every time they die, that's going to be 200 supplies to support his actions, and so you might need truckload after truckload, especially if you got like a whole team of people that are all taking 200 supplies. You know, you got 1,200 supplies worth of people going out that just get in a truck and shot, you know, so you need people to keep loading these things up, so there's always a job to do. If you never know what to do in this game, do supplies. Like, unless you're in one of those servers that has infinite supplies, which then takes out like a massive side of this game. So those aren't as fun, unless you just want to dick around, I suppose. I mean, do whatever you want, have fun with the game. But supplies are just like a cornerstone of the mechanics that kind of set this game apart from other ones. I don't know if I was saying before, but like the map is really big. So it's like this is there's a lot going on here, but like you really only see shit between like 6 or 8 of us here that like are going on, but there's still like 60 people on this map somewhere, you know, duking it out on both teams, you know. And you see, look, there's a truck flipping over. This is a dangerous job. See, but he's okay. Look at that. Professionals. Can record that. It's just fun to think about how there's like big battles going on with other players all in different areas of the map. But I've never seen it. I've never even seen an American on the ground yet. Because we're the Soviets, so we're fighting the Americans, which is kind of fun. So then here's somebody, some genius, built a heavy vehicle depot over here. Because you can drop supplies at these. You just got to get them near that little signpost thing. And you can unload supplies here. There's several buildings you can unload supplies at, or little locations around the base, but these heavy vehicle depots, I find they're the easiest, and I think they hold the most, so you can just unload your whole truck here for the most part. And then if you'll max out supplies sometimes, and you have to go build stuff or spend them or whatever, but now that somebody built one right there, like we don't have to drive through the base, we're not flipping trucks, we're not dying, not hitting anybody, so it's going to make this a lot more efficient. You always gotta take time. There he is. Get a few shots in, maybe you'll get a lucky hit. If nothing else, keep the pressure on. And it is kind of nice that we're a little bit away from the base. So it's like they might be maneuvering around or doing something, and they feel a little bit safe maybe as they're taking a turn or something. But especially with that type of machine gun, you're kind of letting them know, like, hey, we got machine guns over here too. Like, it's not just some dude with an AK. Like, he might be able to tell the difference. Hopefully. But it's like, oh, hey, they got machine guns down here, too. And I haven't even looked at the map in a while to see, like I know we're in the middle of the map pretty much. This Figari base is pretty important. It's kind of middle-ish. But it's like, I don't know if the Americans are, like, at the next town over or where exactly they are. I should probably check that at some point, but again, I'm just focused on grinding supplies, bringing as many as I can. And I do find it relaxing. Over and over. Look at this. See, I'm a major now. Doesn't really change anything, but feels cool, I guess. You can change your clothes and stuff too. So it's like sometimes I like to go and just put a hat on or something. Like if I'm a truck driver, just kind of lighten it up a little bit, I guess. I don't know, change myself up, not look so serious with a helmet. This is where I die. It's bound to happen at some point. So that was... I got shot by somebody on the ground. So now I can get on the radio and I can let my teammates know that, hey, just north of Figari got shot by an infantry guy, so they got people on the ground down there. And as soon as I spawn in, we're getting mortared. So here we go. This is the assault. I guess the Americans were closer than I thought, So we know we're being mortared. They're close enough for mortars. We know we got shot by a guy on the ground. So we know they have at least one dude over there. I'm assuming he's a part of a bigger element. And since he has my truck and I'm a little pissed off, I'm going to go get him. I'll get my truck back. I'm a little mad. You don't take my truck. You don't mess with me when I'm doing supplies, man. I'm just a POG. You don't want to piss off the POG. Look at that. There's my truck in an American uniform driving it into the bushes. That's my guy. Oftentimes, they'll get a command truck. You can spawn it at the vehicle depot. And if you go and set it up right, you can have people from your team spawn there. So that's what I'm kind of assuming they're doing, because you also need supplies next to it if you want people to spawn, especially if they have loadouts and such. So I'm going to creep up here, kind of expecting to find the command truck, and he's probably stole my truck full of supplies to supply the command truck. So it could be a whole operation, and since they have mortars and shit going on too, like, shit's going down. So I'm kind of going on a recon mission to go investigate, like, why he drove the truck back up in here, and I don't know if I have any other teammates, really, in the area, but let's take the scope off, because we're getting into the thick woods. You can just hold Y to inspect your gun, and then you can, at least on the Xbox, that's what it is. It's just fun. You start creeping in. I like this game because, like, once you get to the forest, it feels like you're in a forest. Like, the shadows and the lighting and everything just feels like there's a difference between being inside and outside of a forest. I just really like it. But yeah, there it is. Like, there's a command truck right there. And then there's my supply truck next to it. So then I run backwards because I want to call it in over the radio. But they do have proximity chat in here. And if you talk over the radio, people around you can hear you. So I'm going to call it in, and hopefully hopefully there's no enemies around me. So I just call it in and let them know that the enemy has a command truck north of Fagari, or northwest supply point. And this fucker came out of nowhere. Definitely an American dude. Probably the dude from the truck. But yeah, he just pops out. Thankfully I was able to hit him. Sometimes you have to make a quick decision, like, oh shit, does he see me? Do I have time? I kind of felt like I had to just shoot him right there. But I just assume that there's more guys, so you always want to be ready. So I pull out the machine gun, and I can see that's a teammate over there, so now we're good. Now we got a teammate. Got one dead guy. He's still dead, so he's dead, probably. Talk to this guy, let him know there's a command truck over here. Now we both just kind of sweep up, fully expecting more dudes. But then, I guess maybe the guy's working alone. So I don't know if he tried to wedge the command truck in there, or if that was an accident, but yeah, you just come up behind it and you can dismantle it. Dismobile Mobile Command Unit. So yeah, they were going to use this as a spawn point with a big old truckload of supplies that I loaded for the guy. I mean, it was really good plan. Good on that dude. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, some special forces dude comes up to the supply point, finds some Russian supply dude loading a truck, and shoots him, takes his supplies, and drives it into the bushes and fuels his supplies his command post. And then I am kind of surprised that I saw the guy from a distance like that drive the truck away, and then came up and actually killed him, and then actually found the truck, and now I'm just going to get into it and take my truck back. It's really not often that a plan works like that, when a plan comes together. And I should probably do something with the command truck, because they'll probably just do the same plan. I kind of just leave and then I forget about it. And I can hear on the radio they're still talking about the mortars and such. So it's like this ends up being an ongoing thing, as they have a mortar camp somewhere. And we're all trying to find it. Or at least some people are. I'm not. I'm a supply guy. I only went into the bushes to get my truck back. And here you can see that the sun's going down. So that's a fun thing about this game. It's like the sun does go down over time. Eventually you'll fight at night if the match lasts long enough. So you gotta get some supplies so you can build lights and shit, if you want. Get some of my shit back off my own dead body. Get my gun back. So you don't have to waste more supplies to get it. And then just keep doing the thing, Just keep unloading. Load and unload. You can see all these other players around. It's like, man, every time I drop off a bunch of supplies, and sometimes it maxes out like that, and you gotta keep putting them in, but yeah, they got more sandbags built up. They can build another helicopter. You're just kind of allowing your teammates to just do other stuff, and like, these are all other human beings, like, these are all people that have lives, that have like long days at work and shit, and they come home, and you want them to have fun too. So I ran out of space on my hard drive, but thankfully I got this clip from later, recorded off my Xbox. Some American dude pulled up a Humvee, and I was able to see him through binoculars, and he was setting up. He's up on the hill. He was hopping into the gunner's seat, and he was going to start laying 50 cal rounds down all on top of our base, but I was able to take him out, put the scope on, send a few rounds down range. It's just kind of fun. You just kind of try to stay situationally aware of what's going on, you know? Look at the map, listen to your radio, see what's going on, and just kind of insert yourself and see what you want to do in the battlefield. Like today, we were just running supplies, and I thought it was fun. Anyway, that was a little example of gameplay of playing POG Simulator within Arma Reforger. So if you enjoyed that, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and if not, that's okay too. I'll catch you on the next one.